The vast majority of eyesight deterioration after age 50, whether it's cataracts, glaucoma, blurry vision, diabetic retinopathy, or even just gradual vision decline, can often be traced back to one single silent culprit: insulin resistance and poor blood sugar control. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking this only applies to people with diabetes. Even if you've never been diagnosed as diabetic, years of subtle blood sugar spikes, from the foods you eat, stress, poor sleep, or inactivity, can still damage your eyes in the exact same way. That's because repeated blood sugar surges quietly deplete one extremely important vitamin, one that plays a critical role in your eye health. And when this vitamin runs low, the optic nerve, which acts like a high-speed cable transmitting visual information from your eyes to your brain, begins to suffer. This is why so many people over 50 experience visual decline, even without having eye disease or diabetes. Now, most people turn to the usual suspects: vitamin C, vitamin E, or vitamin B6. And while those are helpful, here's the truth: most people aren't actually deficient in those. And no matter how much of them you take, if you're missing this one key vitamin, your eyesight will not improve. In fact, it may continue to worsen. In today's video, I'm going to reveal exactly what that forgotten vitamin is, why it's absolutely essential for preserving and even restoring vision as you age, and how to take it the right way to see real results. And not only that, we'll also go over 4 other crucial nutrients that work hand in hand with it to help you regain visual clarity and independence. But before we dive in, please do me a favor: hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this vital, life-changing information reach more people who need it, maybe even someone you love. Now let's get started. 1. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is one of the most important nutrients when it comes to protecting and even restoring your eyesight, especially as you age. It plays a crucial role in the production of rhodopsin, a light-sensitive pigment in the retina that allows you to see in low-light conditions. Without enough of it, you may struggle with night blindness, dry eyes, and eventually, more serious retinal damage. It's also been linked to the prevention and slowing of conditions like cataracts and age-related macular degeneration. In fact, some clinical studies have shown that people with sufficient levels of vitamin A are far less likely to develop progressive vision issues later in life. But if you've been following this channel for a while, you know we've advised against rushing out to buy vitamin A supplements. Many of them, especially the synthetic forms like retinol or retinol palmitate, can build up in the body and become toxic, leading to liver problems, dizziness, nausea, and in some older adults, even an increased risk of bone fractures. So how do you get this vital nutrient safely? The best approach is through food, particularly through plants rich in beta-carotene, which your body can convert into vitamin A naturally and only in the amount it needs. This way, you get the benefits without the risk of overdose. One of the easiest and safest ways to boost your intake is with a well-balanced, low-sugar smoothie. I recommend starting with a handful of spinach or kale, adding half a carrot for concentrated beta-carotene, a bit of cucumber for hydration, some flax or chia seeds to help with nutrient absorption, and maybe half an avocado for healthy fats and creaminess. Blend it with water or unsweetened almond milk, and you have a nourishing smoothie that supports your vision without causing a blood sugar spike. That last part is really important. Many people load their smoothies with bananas, mangoes, or pineapples, which are very high in sugar and carbs. The problem is, high blood sugar is one of the fastest ways to damage the tiny blood vessels in your eyes, so even a vitamin-rich smoothie can backfire if it's too sweet. Now, for those of you who still feel the need to take a supplement, especially if you're not getting enough from food, look for natural beta-carotene instead of synthetic retinol. One of the safest sources is beta-carotene derived from Dunaliella salina, a type of algae. It's gentle on the body, well-absorbed, and less likely to cause toxicity. 2. Zinc. Zinc is one of the most crucial trace minerals in the body. It's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which directly support the eyes, from protecting the retina to maintaining the structural integrity of the eye tissue. Yet, despite its importance, it's estimated that over 2 billion people around the world are deficient in zinc, often without even knowing it. When it comes to vision, zinc plays a special role. It helps transport vitamin A from the liver to the retina to produce melanin, the protective pigment in the eye. Without enough zinc, that entire process gets disrupted, which can lead to poor night vision, increased sensitivity to light, blurry vision, and even greater risk of age-related macular degeneration as you get older. Zinc is also a natural antioxidant, helping to protect the eyes from oxidative stress, which is one of the major drivers of cataracts and retinal damage over time. Now, while zinc is present in foods like oysters, pumpkin seeds, beef, and legumes, many people over 50 simply aren't getting enough through diet alone, either due to poor absorption, declining stomach acid, or the fact that modern soils are depleted of zinc. That's where supplementation can make a real difference. If you're considering a supplement, I strongly recommend choosing a highly absorbable form like zinc glycinate. It's gentle on the stomach, well tolerated, and much better absorbed than cheaper forms like zinc oxide. A safe and effective daily dose for most adults is around 10 to 20 milligrams per day. That's usually enough to support your vision, immune system, and overall metabolic health without risking imbalance. However, and this is very important, you should not take high doses of zinc for long periods without balancing it with copper. Taking too much zinc on its own, especially above 30 milligrams a day over time, can deplete copper levels in the body, which can lead to its own set of problems like fatigue, weakened immunity, and even worsened eye function. To stay balanced, a good rule of thumb is about 1 milligram of copper for every 10 to 15 milligrams of zinc. So, if you're taking 20 milligrams of zinc daily, you'll want to make sure you're getting at least 1 to 2 milligrams of copper, either from your multivitamin or from food sources like shellfish, nuts, or seeds. 3. Lutein and zeaxanthin. Lutein and zeaxanthin are two powerful plant pigments known as carotenoids, and they're absolutely essential when it comes to protecting your eyesight, especially as you age. What makes them so unique is that they naturally concentrate in one very specific place in the body, the macula, which is the part of your retina responsible for sharp central vision. Think of them as internal sunglasses. They literally act like a natural filter, shielding your eyes from harmful blue light that comes from screens, LED bulbs, and even sunlight. On top of that, they're also potent antioxidants, helping to neutralize free radicals that can damage the delicate tissues of the eye over time. Multiple studies, including the famous AREDS-2 study conducted by the National Eye Institute, have shown that lutein and zeaxanthin can slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration, which is one of the leading causes of blindness in people over 50. They've also been linked to reduced risk of cataracts, improved contrast sensitivity, and even better visual sharpness, especially in low-light settings. But here's the thing, your body doesn't make lutein or zeaxanthin on its own. You have to get them from your diet. The best food sources are dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collard greens. Egg yolks are another great source because they not only contain lutein and zeaxanthin, but they come with healthy fats that help you absorb them more efficiently. Unfortunately, most people don't eat nearly enough of these foods on a consistent basis, especially in the quantities needed for therapeutic benefit. That's where a high-quality supplement can make a big difference. If you're over 50 and dealing with vision decline, or simply want to protect your eyes as you age, adding a lutein and zeaxanthin supplement may be one of the smartest moves you can make. Look for a formula that provides around 10 milligrams of lutein and 2 milligrams of zeaxanthin per day, which is the amount used in most of the successful clinical studies. It's also helpful to take these with a meal that contains fat, like olive oil, avocado, or eggs, since they're fat-soluble and absorb best that way. And just a quick word of caution, don't rely on a supplement alone. If you're still consuming a diet high in sugar, refined carbs, or processed oils, you're creating inflammation and oxidative stress that can cancel out the benefits. These carotenoids are powerful, but they work best in a body that's not constantly under metabolic attack. 4. Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA, are some of the most vital nutrients for maintaining eye health. DHA in particular is a major structural fat in the retina, making up a significant portion of the eye's photoreceptor cells. In simple terms, your eyes need DHA to function properly. When your body doesn't get enough of these essential fats, you may start to experience dry eyes, blurry vision, inflammation, and even an increased risk of degenerative conditions like age-related macular degeneration. Several studies have confirmed that higher intakes of omega-3s are linked to a lower risk of AMD and improved tear production in people with chronic dry eye syndrome. But here's something most people don't realize. Not all omega-3s are created equal, and not all supplements are safe. While fish oil capsules are incredibly popular, many of them are already oxidized or rancid by the time they reach your shelf. Instead of reducing inflammation, which omega-3s are supposed to do, rancid oils can actually do the opposite, triggering oxidative stress and promoting inflammation throughout the body, including in the eyes. That's why I always recommend getting your omega-3s from whole food sources, especially fatty fish like wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. These foods provide naturally balanced levels of DHA and EPA, along with other important nutrients like vitamin D and selenium, which all work together to support not just eye health, but your heart and brain as well. 5. Vitamin B1. Now, why is vitamin B1 so extremely important when it comes to protecting your eyes, and even reversing early-stage eye damage if caught in time? It all comes down to how this vitamin supports sugar regulation in the body. Vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, plays a central role in how your cells convert glucose into usable energy. But here's the problem. The more sugar and carbohydrates you consume, the more B1 your body burns through. And when your B1 levels drop, your cells, especially the ones in the eyes and nervous system, start to suffer. That's because the eyes are among the most metabolically active tissues in the entire body. They rely on a steady flow of energy and are especially sensitive to anything that disrupts glucose metabolism. So when thiamine is deficient, the eyes are often one of the first places where damage shows up, whether it's in the optic nerve, retina, or even the small blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to these fragile structures. In fact, studies have shown that thiamine deficiency can lead to conditions like optic neuropathy, where the nerve that connects the eye to the brain becomes damaged, resulting in blurred vision, sensitivity to light, or even vision loss. One study published in Graef's Archive for Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology highlighted how chronic B1 deficiency could contribute to progressive vision problems. Now here's what's concerning. Most people today, especially those eating high-carb, processed diets, don't get nearly enough B1. It's found in foods like sunflower seeds, legumes, and whole grains, but even then, it's easily destroyed by heat and food processing. That means even if you're eating healthy, you could still fall short. If you're dealing with blood sugar issues, blurry vision, or nerve-related eye problems, it's worth considering a B1 supplement, but not just any kind. The best one you can go for is benfotiamine, which is a fat-soluble form of B1 that is far better absorbed by the body and can cross into tissues like the retina and optic nerve much more effectively than regular thiamine. Research has shown that benfotiamine may help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the retina, especially in people with diabetic eye complications. And unlike water-soluble B1, which is quickly flushed out, benfotiamine stays in the system longer, giving your eyes a better chance to heal and repair. So if you're over 50 and serious about protecting your eyesight, don't overlook B1. Whether you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, or just eating more carbs than you should, thiamine depletion is more common than you think, and correcting it early could be the difference between stable vision and slow, silent damage. Now before we wrap up, here's something that ties everything together. Eye health after 50 isn't just about taking supplements, it's about changing the internal environment that either protects your vision or slowly destroys it. That's why one of the best things you can do for your eyes and your overall health is to cut back on sugar and carbohydrates. A low-carb, nutrient-rich diet helps stabilize your blood sugar and reduces the strain on your eyes. Combine that with intermittent fasting and regular movement, even something as simple as walking daily, and you'll be creating an internal environment that supports healing, not degeneration. And don't forget about vitamin C, but get it from low-sugar, whole food sources like bell peppers, lemons, and leafy greens, instead of sugary fruit juices that can do more harm than good. Remember to always consult your healthcare provider before starting or stopping any supplement, especially if you're managing a medical condition or taking medications. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for more videos that empower you to take control of your health, naturally and wisely. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.